being streamed live. So to honor the traditions of anonymity, the camera will only be focused on the podium. If you choose to share, you may stand at the podium on camera or off to the side if you prefer to remain off camera. Okay, that's kind of a moot point. We're gonna have a guest speaker tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. If we get to a point that you feel like you have a burning desire to share, the rules still apply. You're welcome to the podium or off to the side. Having said that, because it's live streamed, there are people at home or in their cars or at the park on their phone or on a computer that need to go to a meeting and come here. They can't come to this meeting. They can't get to that meeting. So that's why we do it online. So we need to be conscious that the fellowship that we have here, right, as thankful as I am, is not confined to this room. Okay, so this is something that they do, and I think it's pretty amazing. So we're going to go ahead and welcome anybody that's out there watching the meeting. We're going to go ahead and welcome them and get started with a moment of silence, followed by the serenity prayer. God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, so that I may be responsibly happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever and ever in the next. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Are there any newcomers? Newcomers? No? All right. Do we have any announcements this evening? Sober is good. All right. Is anyone opposed to vaping? No, that's good. All right. Who you see here and what you hear here, let it stay here.
Here.
All right. Please keep profanity again if you share to a minimum for our spiritual principles. And we'll ask Robert to do the same. Donation basket is going to be passed around to keep up with our seventh tradition. Contributions will cover rent, utilities, and coffee. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and I'll read the preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA. Membership, we are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, and does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Okay, I've asked someone to read how it works.
My name is Johnny, I'm an alcoholic and addict, and this is how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. As some of these we balked.
Excuse me, hands up.
We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandonment. Here are the steps that we took which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1. We admitted that we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact natures of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continue to take a personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice their principles in all of our affairs. Many of us exclaim, "What an order, I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures become and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholics and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if He were sought.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, someone will be reading the 12 traditions.
I'm named Damon and I'm an addict. 12 traditions of Alcohol Anonymous. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself in our group. Conscience, our leader are but trusted servants. They do not govern. 3. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. Each group should be anonymous except in matter affecting other people, groups of or AA as a whole. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffer. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. These problems of money, property, and prestige, my bad, diverted us from our primary purpose. 7. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Alcohol Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service center may employ special workers. 9. AA as such ought to never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsibility. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
To those they serve. 10. Alcohol Anonymous has no opinions or outside issues. Hence, the AA name ought to never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymous at the level of press, radio, and firm. film. 12.
Anonymity.
Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place
Principles before personality.
personality.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, man. All right, good job. Now, someone's gonna come up, someone's gonna go up, go ahead and pass out the chips, for tonight's meeting. We ask, if you receive one, you can stay after the meeting to take a picture, just to give hope to those of them that are watching online.
Y'all, excuse me, I ain't never done this before, so I don't know what color goes with what. So bear with me, right?
What is your name?
I'm Robbie. I'm an addict. So I guess a white chip is the desired chip. This chip won't keep you sober, but it may keep you from drinking. I guess I remember this man saying it's the newcomer chip. Anybody want a white chip? No? All right.
Hey, they got the little sayings right there. If you go
Yeah, but it don't say the color.
Thank you, Malik.
100, you know,
I appreciate it. I try to pay attention, right?
You good, brother.
I guess it's a 24-hour chip.
I know that.
It's okay.
Days.
30 days.
Okay, well, look, there's a 24-hour chip. Anybody want a 24-hour chip? You made it through to today. Let's see about tomorrow. You only live one day at a time, and this chip proves it. Keep this in your pocket. If you drink, throw it at us before you do. So you just said this is the 30-day chip, right? Okay, there's a 30-day chip, 1 month. You're learning to trade hangovers for hope. 1 month sober is no small miracle. If you can stay sober for 30 days, you can stay sober for 31. Anybody?
Somebody somewhere.
There's a 60-day chip, 2 months. Anybody want a 60-day chip? 2 months. Your liver is writing thank you notes. You've got more time sober than some people spend in the gym. That's me. This chip says keep sitting in the front row. What? You want 60 days? What color is 60 days? I don't know what color is 60 days. The red one? All right.
What is your name and what are you gonna do?
It's the green one?
Yeah.
That's the one under it.
Oh, Lord. Gold.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It says it on there? Oh, okay.
One day at a time.
Who already
I'm addict. I did it one day at a time and with God's grace.
Man. 90-day chip, a whole season sober. You changed it more than the weather. 3 months is when the fog starts to lift. You're officially an AA regular now. Anybody?
Somebody somewhere.
All right. This goes straight to 6 months, so I'm gonna go straight to 6 months. 6 month chip, half a year sober. You're proof that the program works. If you can do it for 6 months, you can do it for another 6. Your family probably likes you again. Anybody?
Somebody somewhere.
All right. Goes to 9 months. 9 month chip. 9 months, you could have probably had a baby instead. Don't advise it. You're sober longer than most diets last. Your higher power is clearly on duty. Anybody?
Somebody somewhere.
And then, the next one is a year chip. A year without alcohol. You're a miracle with legs. You're shining brighter than your bronze chip. Keep coming back because it works if you because it works if you work it.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Somebody somewhere.
And then there's multiple years. I don't know where that one is. I guess your name goes on the board when it's your sobriety's birthday month. Add your date and coin, and it will be passed out on the third Friday of each month.
It's the fourth Friday.
Right.
Yeah, that needs to be changed.
This says third Friday. I'm just reading what I was told.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you for being the starter.
Okay, so next we're gonna have a speaker that's a friend of Hopper House and a friend of this meeting. And I'd like to remind and ask everybody to give him the respect that he deserves. I know we've all had a long day, we're all tired, and so is he. And with that, Robert?
Yeah.
But it's time to play.
5825.
All right.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
What's up, man?
Give him away.
So, y'all right now, y'all are seeing the version of me that's smiling, that's alive, that's sober, and hopeful. Y'all don't really know the man addiction created. Addiction didn't steal my life. It robbed me one little piece at a time. Like it took everything that mattered, and it pretty much convinced me that it was someone else's fault. It took my family, and not because they didn't love me, but because addiction made it impossible to live. So every apology I have is meaningless. Every this is the last time became another lie. Eventually, the people who loved me the most had to protect themselves from me, from who I've become. And you know, that hurts. Looking back today, I understand why. Because addiction doesn't just destroy the addict. Like it sends shockwaves to every person that loves you. You know, especially my children. I'm supposed to be the protector, your example. You know, I'm supposed to be their safe place. But you know, in all this, realizing I was the one that was the storm instead for them. Missing birthdays, missing holidays, all these memories that I will never get back. You know, just watching life move on without me there. And all the time I'm convincing myself that I'll make it up to them. But you know, the truth is, that addiction will always tell you that there is a tomorrow. But you know, tomorrow's not promised, man. It almost stole every chance that I even had to be there for them. And you know, everything else, vehicles. I remember having stuff to drive. Then I remember who am I going to get a ride from? I remember walking. You know, eventually I just remember not caring at all. The houses, they disappeared pretty much the same way. One place and another and another. Honestly, after that, I couldn't answer the question. When people would ask me, like, where you staying, where you live? Shit, I didn't live. I wasn't living. I was surviving. You know, I slept on couches, sofa to sofa, homeboy to homeboy. And, you know, you can't stay too long because eventually everybody gets tired of trying to carry somebody who's not even trying to carry themselves. And I pretty much became an expert at packing myself in these little couple bags. Like I learned how to make myself small. I learned how to disappear, really, is all it was. And convincing people that I was okay when I hadn't been okay in years. I bounced from town to town, like hoping, oh, I'm gonna leave this and this town to fix me. Next job, opportunities, next fresh starts. You know, everywhere I went, there I was, dragging my ass. You can't outrun yourself. You can't change cities, you can't change phone numbers, you can't change friends, you can't change your identity. Everywhere you go, you gotta drag your ass along with you. Nothing's gonna change if you don't change your thoughts. I lost jobs because I didn't show up. Some because I couldn't stay sober. And some because I couldn't get over myself. I was in the way. You know, eventually I stopped believing in myself. My friends stopped believing in myself. Employers stopped believing in me. And the hardest part was that I stopped believing in myself, though. I remember I was making promises in the mirror that I'll do better tomorrow. I'll quit tomorrow. I'll get my shit together tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. Next month became next year. And before I knew it, 19 years had flew by. 19 years. Think about that. Children become adults in that time. People build careers, families grow, dreams come true. And I spent those same years chasing something that was killing me. And at the same time, I was convincing myself that it was keeping me alive. There were nights that I didn't know where I was going to sleep. Days I was wondering, like, what am I going to eat today? Moments I looked in the mirror and didn't realize that I didn't know who the guy was staring me back, because addiction changed my face. It changed my soul. It convinced me that I wasn't worth saving. And it told me that I'd already ruined too much. I was too broken. I was too damaged. I was too far gone. And some of you know exactly what that voice sounds like. You know, maybe you've heard it too. That voice that tells you you ain't shit. You burnt every bridge. Your family don't want you. This world would be better off without you. I'm grateful today that voice was wrong. It was a lie. If you're sitting here breathing, like, you ain't done. If you're sitting in this room, your story, it ain't over yet. Recovery taught me something that I didn't know a long time ago. Addiction don't just take things from you, it steals it from you. It makes you forget all your values. It makes you settle for survival when you were created to live. There were moments when addiction took me to places that I never thought I would go. 7 times I came close to losing my life because of the path I was on. That's 7 overdoses. 4 of those times were intentional. Those are hard to say. It's not because I'm ashamed of them, though, because I understand now how much pain a person has to be carrying to be in that place to where they see that they're not worth it. That's a lot of pain. At the time, I didn't see the value of my own life. I couldn't see what other people saw. I couldn't see that my children still needed me. I couldn't see that my family still loved me. I couldn't see that my story wasn't finished. I saw the pain that I was trying to escape. Looking back now, I realize every time I woke up, I didn't earn it. That's grace. It was another chance. Another invitation to choose something different. I thought I was a failure. But today, I see all the failures that I survived. And I'm not going to share this part of my story to glorify the darkness. I'm sharing it because somebody here knows that same darkness. So some of y'all may believe y'all gone too far, or you may think your family's better off without you. And you might think that there's just no way out. But I'm standing here as proof that it's wrong. Same person who lost everything, same person who slept on couches, same person who moved from town to town trying to escape himself. The same person who came so close to losing his life so many times is the same person standing here with hope now. But my story is getting into the darkness. Before I lost my family, before I lost my children, before I lost my houses, the jobs, the vehicles, and early in my life, there was a day when everything changed. A day that life decided to split my life into a before and an after. I was 16 years old. 16 when everything split my life into two. Before, I still believed time was something that went in a straight line, like a forgiving line. And I thought I knew what pain was. Straight knees, bad days, arguments with my parents. They like seemed to cool off overnight of rest. But then there was the after. The after taught me that pain does not have to be a permanent resident, but it can sit in your bones, in your memory, in a way that when you wake up and realize that there's something gone that you're not good at. That's the year I lost my arm. I'm not going to dress it up like some movie scene or make it dramatic than it already was. You know, there wasn't a warning sign. There wasn't slow motion. It was just, it was a moment, chaos in a hospital room, like that. And in this silence that felt heavier, louder than any noise that I've ever heard, man. I woke up, first thing I remember was not even seeing it. It was that feeling of absence. Like my brain had reached for something that wasn't there, you know? And I couldn't understand why the world was not responding correctly. Then the nausea, that realization, it's a grief. You don't have words for it at 16. People talk about loss like it's something that you get over, right? But what I've learned is your problems don't get smaller. You get bigger around them or you don't. And I didn't. Not at first. At first I started disappearing, not so much physically, so much, so I did that in many ways, but more mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I stopped seeing as the world as something I belonged to. I started seeing it as something that had taken something from me that didn't care what it cost. And that's where the next 19 years came about. And it wasn't all at once. It wasn't like a straight line. It was like a spiral that seemed to tighten over time, downward. Substances came in slowly at first as just a way to mute the noise, a way to make that reflection in the mirror a little more sharp. Stop thinking about what I lost. And I forgot what I still had. At first it was escape. Then it became routine. Then it became identity. By the time I realized what was happening though, I wasn't just using to use. I was using to feel normal. And that's a deadly place to live. When your normal is built around something that slowly kills you. Over the next nearly 2 decades, I lived a life that was split between institutions and really whatever passed for this little freedom in between, you know what I'm saying? Mental hospitals, familiar, smell of disinfectant and locked doors. Those group circles where people like me tried to fit this pain into a sentence that didn't fit, you know what I'm saying? Some stays were short, but some of these stays just felt like they bent time itself. I met people that were just like me though. People who lost something. People who were there who never had nothing. People who were there who were trying to get it. Prisons and jails carrying their own rhythm. Not all for the same reasons, but they were all connected to the same root. All these choices I made while disconnected from myself, chasing relief instead of healing. all these choices made while believing I was already too far gone to change my direction. Rehabs were a little different though. And it wasn't always in the way that y'all think. They're not like magic resets for me. They were just pauses. They were these breathing rooms. These places where I could kind of see clearly for a moment before stepping back into the same bullshit that I didn't learn how to fix. And every time I left one of the places, I left with that same problem. So you probably all said, I'm done this time. Sometimes I'm in it. You know, meaning it wasn't enough. But I kept making the same mistakes over and over and over. You know, I thought sobriety was just about stopping. But I didn't stop being the same person in the same environments, same homeboys. So I didn't put the substances down. Eventually I picked them back up when nothing else had changed. You know, it took years. And years, and I don't want to romanticize it, but it took years to realize something simple but brutal. You can remove all these drugs, but still be living a life that feels like a slow suicide. It's slow relapse. It's not just what you put in your body, it's what you put in your mind too. The people you surround yourself with, what you tolerate, how you talk to yourself when you're looking in that mirror. I used to think it'd be all right just to put down as a substance, but the substances was just a symptom. It was the way I was living, the way I was moving through this world. Like I didn't matter enough to change it. I stayed stuck in that for a long time. You know, something shifted. It wasn't all at once. Like it didn't just happen. But like these little cracks of awareness that I would gain, they started breaking through little by little. I started to realize I got a mental toolbox, and I didn't get it from comfort, man. I got it from chaos. Those hospital rooms where I said shaking. Those rooms, I learned how to name emotions that I used to drown out. Jail cells, I had nothing but time. My own thoughts bouncing right back at me. These rehab meetings where people told these truths that I didn't want to hear. But once I heard them, I couldn't unhear them. These places I collected these little tools. Discipline I learned. Self-awareness. I couldn't escape myself. Honesty I learned when all these lies weren't working no more. Patience I learned when nothing was changing quickly like we want. I wasn't in control as I thought I was. You know, back then I didn't always use that toolbox. They just kind of stayed around like spare parts that I didn't know how to assemble. Recently something changed. You know, I finally understand something. Just putting down was never going to be enough. Not for me, especially. I could be sober and still be broken in the same exact ways that led me there to the first place. So I stopped trying to just not use. And I started trying to live differently. And that meant everything had to change. And I mean everything. Everything. The people I surrounded myself with changed. Conversations I participated in changed. The music I listened to changed. And not because I was avoiding anything, But because I started noticing like everything that I put in my body made me feel some type of way. Some things pulled me backward. Some things remind me of the person I didn't want to be. Some things started to feel like they was grounding me, like building me forward almost. Even movies changed, and not like in a moral way, but like in a mental way. Like I started paying attention to how that made me feel. Did it leave me empty? Did it leave me restless? Or did it ground me? I started treating my life like it was something that I was actively shaping instead of something that I was just trying to survive in. And I started small at first though, like so small that I could have ignored it so easy if I wasn't paying attention. Like making my bed in the mornings, picking up a piece of trash without even thinking about it. Staying in tune to these conversations that I've always tried to avoid, looking like a raccoon, sitting alone for 5 minutes in my thoughts. Like these things sound small, but in reality, they're rewiring everything, day by day. Because I stopped living like I was worthless. Every reaction started mattering to me. But somewhere in this shift, I started to develop something that I never truly had though. And it's like I want to change the world kind of attitude. You know what I'm saying? And not some fantasy Batman, Superman kind of shit, but just in a grounded way. Like I can walk into a room and I can bring chaos or I can bring stability. Today, I have a choice in which one that's gonna be. When this shift happened, something strange happened. Something I was very unfamiliar with. I started feeling emotions that I didn't even know existed. And it wasn't just happiness and sadness, it's deeper. Like this little calm pride of doing something right, even when no one was watching. This gratitude for mornings that didn't have to feel like punishment. Sense of connection to people without actually needing something from them. One of the most surprising things, I started seeing beauty everywhere. Even in places I always seen damage, broken situations, disasters. That's the kind of clarity that comes when you've been to the bottom enough times that you stop fearing this contrast of life. You look at something falling apart and you still see structure. Like I could look at pain and still see meaning behind it now. I can look at my own past and instead of only seeing shame, I can see evidence that I survived. I thought it was once going to destroy me. And that changes everything. When you see beauty everywhere, you stop waiting for your life to start. And then you start beginning to realize that it's already happening, like now, here. Even in the imperfect parts, man. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the struggle disappeared, though, because it didn't. It still ain't. There's still days where these old thoughts still try to pull me back. Days where the past, it feels close enough to touch almost. Days where I have to actively use this toolbox instead of letting it sit in the back of my head unused. Like the difference now is I know I have this toolbox. I have choices. And I know I'm not the same person that left those hospital rooms all these years ago. Today I'm 1 year and several months clean.
Yeah.
Started feeling it a lot instead of escape. I started understanding that recovery isn't just about putting down. It's not just something, it's direction. for the first time in a long time, I'm not trying to just survive. I'm trying to shake these days. Every morning still matters. And every action matters. Every single thought I choose to challenge instead of obeying changes things. And I don't need perfection no more. I need progress. I need this good orderly direction. I learned something that I wish I understood years ago. Losing something doesn't mean that you have to lose everything. Like it's just the beginning of learning how to rebuild. But I'm still rebuilding. Not as someone who got fixed, but someone who's finally learned how to use what life gives me, like even the painful parts. And that more than anything is what keeps me moving forward. We don't stand in front of each other as whole people. It's never been touched by damage. That's just not reality. And it never has been. Like the truth, if we're honest about it, is that we're all broken. Some of us carry visible scars. Some of us carry scars that nobody else can see. But everybody in this room is holding pieces of themselves together that they were once missing. You know what I'm saying? And there's something powerful about even admitting that out loud. Because the moment we stop pretending that we're fine, that's when we start becoming free. We start performing strength. We stop isolating. We start realizing that we were never meant to carry any of this alone. Shared experience. It's the understanding that every person here is trying to build themselves together, a life, a different mindset, relationships, a sense of identity. And even if our stories look different, the foundation is the same. We're all in the process of reshaping our lives right now. And that's where something like the 12-step it's important. Having had a spiritual awakening in these steps means that we carry this message to the next person who's still suffering. And we practice this in all of our affairs, right? It's not just about staying clean and sober. It's about becoming useful, becoming connected. It's about taking what was once survival and turning it into service. Because recovery was never meant to be carried alone. It's meant to multiply. When one person finds a way out, we reach back and grab that next person. The next person. That's how communities stay alive. That's how this hope spreads. That's how these broken people make themselves whole again. Not by pretending that we were never broken. Help someone find their way out. This is where we start to understand something simple but powerful. Two heads are better than one. It's not because one person's weak, but because isolation distorts your thinking. When I'm alone in my head, I don't like that dude. He don't tell me the truth. But when I'm sitting with someone else, when I'm speaking honesty, when I listen, when I stay connected, I get this perspective again. I feel grounded. Two hearts, they say more life than one. One heart can it can struggle to keep this hope alive. But like when you can join hearts, it's powerful. You got shared purpose. Everything strengthens. Hope becomes contagious. Strength becomes shared. And all these burdens we're carrying become lighter. It's not because they disappeared. It's because we're holding it together. That's the point of this kind of recovery. It's not independence and isolation. It's interdependence and truth. We don't heal by pretending we don't need it. We we heal by allowing ourselves to be seen, to be supported and understood. So when we say we're broken, we're not saying that we're just regular people. We know we're human. Period. We're in this together. You know, we're not speaking symbolically. We're stating this foundation of survival, because no one in recovery rebuilds alone, not for long. No one stays whole by shutting others out. We stay whole by staying connected. Here's what I've learned. Flowers don't grow despite this mud. They grow because of it. The mud is a foundation for this new life. I used to think my past disqualified me of having any kind of future. I thought my mistakes controlled me. Recovery has taught me something different, though. Every lesson, every failure, every tear, every single step back, it's the foundation that I'm standing on today. The very things that tried to bury me is the same things I built my foundation on. Okay. Trying to get out the mud, it ain't gonna happen real fast. It's one decision at a time. Making your bed when you don't feel like it. Showing up when nobody's clapping for you. And saying no to all those things that's been trying to pull you back. And yes to this good, orderly direction. It's choosing hope instead of excuses, responsibilities, progress over perfection. You know, there's always going to be people who remember you as the act you was. Let them. Nobody cares. Your job ain't to convince them that you have changed. Your job's to keep walking forward until your life speaks louder than your past. No, but don't forget to reach back and grab somebody else. Somebody is still stuck in that mud out there that needs you. They don't need somebody who's perfect. They need somebody who's been through it. And honestly say that, you know, if I can make it out, you can make it out. Period. Don't be ashamed of where you came from. Be grateful that you're no longer there. Wear all your scars like armor, because you survived it. We'll keep digging, keep climbing, keep getting bigger around the problems. No, that mud that we've been stuck in is just a part of our story, but it's not our destination. It doesn't define you. Circumstances shape all of us, but they're not limiting us at all. The best times of our life are behind us. They're not even here right now. They're still in front of us. We just got to keep moving and keep climbing. I've been here since January 10th, 2025. My first invoice racked up to $6,222. I can print it out and show it to you. I'm very lucky Chris Hopper did not kick my ass out. I deserve to, because all I've done for the first couple of months was bullshit my way through. Same thing I've done with all these other institutions, these prisons I've been to, these mental hospitals. I didn't care. I'm an addict. Until I really had to dig down deep and stop myself from the way I was thinking. Almost every day, every 10 seconds, I just wanted to grab my stuff and run. Like, this ain't for me. I don't have that feeling now. It's my family. I don't even talk to my family no more because they're still stuck in that ish. I don't want no part of it. If you need somebody to talk to, I'll talk to you. But keep all that other BS away from me. I'm not gonna have nothing to do with it. I stand on that. I stand on my 10 toes about that. I have to. Because the moment I let somebody talk me into one hit, I'm gone. Screw this job. Screw all y'all. That's my attitude when I'm high. That's not who I am. That's the drugs. That's the alcohol. I already started $820 a month, same as everybody pays when they come in. I hate it. I struggle. It took me 11 months to get caught up on that first invoice. It took me a long time to get a job. And that's because other people don't see, they see me as a liability for some reason. That just means I gotta get out and prove myself. I ain't messed up about it. Let them. Nobody gives a shit about that. I don't. 4 months after being here, I left for money. The main reason was my kids live in Midland, and I haven't always been a father. I was there. Everything that I made, I try to give it to them. I wanted them to have everything. But that's how them drugs get us. Like, it's all materialistic. It ain't nothing to do with us. It's just we need to get high so we can provide for our family. And that's just a effed up place to be. But I was there for 19 years, just trying to survive. I had a good job. I had everything going here for me, and I left. An irrational decision that I made to be closer to my kid. I got my last paycheck from Relief Enterprises. I think some of the other people that work there. I took that last check with this idea, like, I'm gonna go stay in a motel for a week while my transfer kicks in. Not knowing that I had to put in a whole new application, had to pass a drug screen, all this. It was gonna take more than a week. Everything fell through. I wasn't mentally ready to leave. If I was, I wouldn't have relapsed just because I didn't have a job. I gave up that quick. I ended up going back to my hometown. Got a bag of, tried to make some money. Did for a few days, done good. Still drinking, but I refused to do anything else. But that drinking led me to it. Got too drunk one night and out to the races. For about 2 weeks after that, I was only gone for about 2 weeks. It was about a week. It seemed like forever. There was a bar every night. I was in and out the bathroom trying to make a quick buck until the bartender started noticing. The bartenders were all my cousins, though, by the way, so they kind of let me know that I was being watched. Eventually, I started showing back up to my dad's house high. He didn't want to have it. My brother didn't want to have it. He's got 2 daughters that wasn't there. No vehicle. Had a vehicle when I got there, but I burnt that bridge, my old block, because I kept getting high again. Eventually, I was living out the park there for about 2 days. Stayed at a nursery underneath some flowers, trying to find beauty. And it just, all this pain that I had put myself back into. The last 2 nights, I made a little cabin behind Walmart. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a badass little cardboard house. But something that next night when these drones were chasing me, Bradley Ridgeway had called me, asked me how I was doing. And I told him, I was honest with him. I'm effed up, bro. I'm back at it again. I don't know what to do. I'm lost, no money. We talked for a minute, he hung up. And I get this call back, hey, call Chris Hockman. Shit. Man, I don't want to hear from that dude. He's gonna tell me something that I don't want to hear. I So I get on the phone with Chris and yeah, you high? I'm coming down. Been about 2 days, we're out of money. Burn bridges, don't got nothing. He said, you asked me to meet it this time? Yes, sir. Same shit I've been saying all these years. Yeah, I got you, I mean. But I really did this time. That was that rock bottom for me. That was as low as I feel like I could go. I'm not saying that if I go back out there and get that pain again, that I might go lower. But that's as lowest as I've ever been. I had built a relationship with my kids, and just in that week of me thinking that I'm not going to get this job, I done gave up because it's been so hard for me to even get a job. Chris told me to come home. So I get a call from Jacob with Vince. He's in Odessa doing something. They swing by Big Springer picking me up. Ratchet, dude. Stinking. Got that meth ash. Y'all know what that is, right? I hope y'all don't miss it. 'Cause I don't. Drop back here. Get back. I'm thinking it's going to be another reset. Oh, Chris Hopper says, you got rent, buddy. And I'm glad I did. I don't care. It took me 11 months to get caught for my rent. But with this new change attitude that I have, I got it. I had soups. I ate soups for several weeks at a time because I was doing 95% of my checks. At the time, I felt like I need to pay this man. This man's saving my life. He's when nobody else wants anything to do with me. I don't got no couches to sleep on. Walmart's already flashing the lights at me. Chris takes me in. That's crazy. I tried to get a job, started at Double J, worked there, done good. $300 checks, didn't have nothing, didn't care. I was sober. I had learned my lesson enough. I was done with that life. It was difficult. Them hot days, you get home after mowing the grass, I still wanted to drink a beer. It's taking a very long time for me to change, and I still have issues with my addictions. Them nights, especially after having my kids for a whole week and they leave, like my room is so empty after that. And the first thing that comes to my thought is I want to get high. Like I want to drown this pain out. I don't like pain. I don't. But I can do this the rest of my life and be happy with myself. I can't keep going back out and getting high. So I'm not happy with my kids. They don't really care as long as I'm there. I'm now working as a program facilitator in recovery center. Like who would ever thought that? Not me, not my family, the mother of my kids. And they probably never would have seen me where I'm at today. But I'm here and I'm pushing every day. I have to constantly change myself. If I have any kind of slip up on any kind of day, I'm gonna fall backwards. And I'm not even about all that now. I'm trying to move forward. This pain that I've carried, I see people coming in and I feel it. Like, I know where you're at, bro. Just stay here. 2 days. You feel bad today, just go to bed. Wake up tomorrow. It's a new day. If you still feel that way, give it one more. I promise. I lost my arm. I got to live with one arm every single day of my life. Like, I will never get it back. Every day I have to wake up with this pain. That's why I want to go use so often. Them drugs take the pain completely away from you, but there's this more powerful sense of having a family, of having people that I feel connected to. Even if I've never met you or had a conversation with you, I love you. I feel connected to you. Like, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? We come from the same mother. We might be in different places in our recovery, but we're on the same path. Now, I'm almost 2 months ahead on rent. I still owe $6,000 in tickets, but we're working on that. No vehicle. Nothing. My kids can come whenever they want. I can see my kids whenever I want. The mother of my kids. We have a relationship now. We was together for 10 years and didn't have one. Because when we met, I was on pills. I had just started. All these things that I have, I'm not going to let go of. And it's not easy. I'm not going to tell, if it's easy, I'm not going to sit here and try to paint this pretty picture because it's not. It's rough. Every day I wake up, it's rough. But I'm still standing. I pray that everybody finds this comfort that I have. A lot of y'all, the pieces that y'all lost, y'all might not even find, but this place, it doesn't even matter if it's here, if y'all end up going somewhere else. There's pieces that you can pick up along the way to fix yourself. It's a new you. You don't want them pieces you dropped in the past anyways. That you don't want that. Build you a new self. Be invincible. When I first got here, I only planned on being here for 6 months. I'm gone. But I'm just mentally, I'm not ready. Even after 18 months, whatever it is, May 8th, I'm not ready. I feel like if I go and I'm alone, I'm going to stop coming to these meetings. I'm not ready right now, so I'm going to stay. Even though I want to tell myself I am. That's all I got, really.
Man, that was special. Now, I want to invite everybody just to take a second and think of what this man has done for you with a smile, no matter how small, no matter how big. Not credit to him. Proof that the program works if you work it. Just do the next right thing. Okay? And for you, I pray God gives you courage for you to be you because you're the best one now.
Yeah.
I've asked somebody to read the promises for us.
My name is Mike. I'm an alcoholic addict.
Amen.
If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before halfway through. We're going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will come to comprehend the word serenity and will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experiences can benefit others. The feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurities will leave us, which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises?
We thank God.
They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work.
Remind me what your name is.
Mike.
Thanks, God.
Thanks again to Robert and everybody here. We're going to go ahead and end this meeting in the usual fashion. Go ahead.
Please help with putting the chairs up. I don't stay behind.
Our building down today. Everybody there? Who's father?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Keep coming back, it works if you work it.
Hi.
Eileen.
Good.
Hi.
Hi.